We are back on Morning Line. Clint Kelly with us, malpractice attorney here in Middle Tennessee. His office is in Hendersonville. We'll give you the contact information at the end of the show. Thanks for coming on, Clint.
Sure.
It's always good to have you. We had a few phone calls and a lot of things to talk about. You're invited to join if you have a question or comment, 737-7587. Let's start things off with Paul. Good morning to you, Paul. Hi there.
Hey, good morning, Nick, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right. What's on your mind, my friend?
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to have the election aftermath show today, but
we took a deep breath. Maybe tomorrow's the plan. We stepped away for a while.
I was going to give my comments on that, but actually, I have a little comment for your subject today.
Yes.
The good attorney right there absolutely said the truth when he said that some of these people just refuse to follow suit through with a lawsuit against these doctors. That is absolutely 100% true, Nick. Let me give you a true story about my mother.
Okay.
All right? Now listen to this. It's God's honest truth. She is a retired nurse. She worked 44 years in the main OR. I ain't gonna name the hospital, but it's one of the 3 major hospitals in Davidson County. All right, she worked 44 years in the main OR there. Okay, about 12 years ago, she's retired now. She's 76 years old. But about 12 years ago, she started having problems with one of her kidneys. Okay. She, of course, being in the main OR at 44 years, she knows all the doctors of all the fields. She knows every one of them. Well, she went to one of the kidney doctors there, and they determined that she needed to have kidney surgery on one of her kidneys. Okay? Now, you only got 2 kidneys, Nick. You only got one on the right, one on the left side of your body. Right. Well, they operated on the wrong kidney. They actually done that. And I mean, that's a grand slam malpractice there. I mean, you automatically gonna win that. They operated on the wrong kidney, and she wanted to have a suit against the doctor, but she was actually friends with him, and she said, "Oh, he's such a good man," and we tried to tell her, "Mama, he's got malpractice insurance. He shouldn't have done that. How do you do that?" Anyway, long story short, she didn't pursue the malpractice suit. They actually had to go in and repair the kidney that was functional. They had to surgery again on the good kidney, and they had to go in and fix the wrong kidney. Anyway, she didn't pursue it, and a couple of years after that, she got disgruntled about the situation. She was going to continue to work in her 70s, but she just decided after all that she didn't want to be around the doctor anymore, so she went on and retired. And but that is God's honest truth of what happened with her, and so stuff like that does happen.
Paul, I believe you. And she's doing okay right now?
Oh, she is. She's doing fine. She actually has a birthday in 3 or 4 days, and she's loving life and doing good. But they actually operated on her wrong kidney.
Wow. What do you think of that?
Nick, I rest my case.
Well, look, I respect the woman, though.
I mean, Paul, I'm telling you, that is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I want the public to take away from this show, if anything, well, 2 points. Point A is that in Tennessee, there are very few medical malpractice lawsuits, in part because of what Paul said. But the other point, all doctors have malpractice insurance. Let me repeat, all doctors have malpractice insurance. When you sue the doctor, or you sue the hospital, or you sue the nurse, the insurance company's lawyer comes into the case to defend it, and the insurance company is going to pay the claim. So the public doesn't have to worry about this poor doctor having to give up his own money out of his pocket to pay a claim. An insurance company's paying it. No different than if I ran into you, rear-ended you on the interstate,
auto insurance,
and your State Farm or Allstate came in to defend you and paid my claim. All doctors have malpractice insurance. But again, even that relative of Paul's simply didn't want to bring the lawsuit because there's something in our DNA that is let's just say a resistance, if you will, to bringing these cases.
No, but to me, like I said, it's almost a little refreshing, even though I think in her situation she should have. seems like such a litigious society. When you find, it just seems everyone's so quick, not necessarily malpractice, to sue for everything. And every little thing, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you. I mean, how about, you know, I've gotten dinged a few times with my car. I just don't flip out. My car's got dings on it. I know I don't have a big fancy car like you. I know that. But I mean, I get dinged. I just don't stress it, all right? But I mean, some people, and she didn't want to sue. She knew the guy. She liked him. But this raises to a level, I think, where you have to, if for no other reason, to send a message, you can't make this mistake. And this ties in with one of the points you made in the first segment. So you're saying, I mean, I'm wondering, how the heck do they perform surgery on the wrong kidney? And as he said, you only got two. You mess up one of them, the other one had a problem. Wow.
They're in a hurry.
Yeah, but all right, well, aren't they supposed to put an X on the side, or isn't someone supposed to know? What are the precautions you can take to make sure you don't do the wrong leg, the wrong kidney?
4 things you do.
Okay,
it's
what are
a
the 4 things?
procedure.
Okay, I want to hear this.
First of all, you identify the right body part. Okay? Mark the body part. Secondly, you identify the right surgical procedure. You make sure the procedure matches what's been requested. Third, you match up the patient. You compare who's on the table versus who the chart is. And fourth, you look at the consent form to make sure the patient is consented to the procedure, which includes the body part that's going to be operated on. That's what's called a timeout procedure. You always follow the timeout procedure before you cut. End of story.
Okay.
And when you hear something like this happening, like what Paul mentioned, that means someone short-circuited the timeout procedure. They either didn't follow it completely, or they just simply blew through it in a hurry, and that's where a lot of these mistakes get made. There is no excuse in 2018 for operating on the wrong body part.
And the first point you said was make sure you know which body part it is, right? Was your first point?
Of course.
I'm just wondering, tangibly, if you're the doctor, and you know you see this inside, so I can ask you this question: what do they do to make sure they do the left kidney instead of the right kidney?
Well, you mark it. Before the surgery starts, they'll put an X and they will circle it so they know where the
literally on the back of the patient.
Yeah, or wherever you're cutting. Or say you're operating on the elbow or breast or whatever.
Or a knee, and you don't do the wrong knee.
The problem most likely here was the person who marked the spot marked the wrong kidney. And the doctor rolls in, he's got maybe 2 or 3 surgeries that day. He rolls in the OR suite, he sees the marking, he assumes that it's been done properly, so he starts cutting, and then, oh my God, the surgery's over, and he realizes, sometimes they realize it right in the middle of surgery.
Because there's nothing wrong with where they're cutting. They're like, where's that torn ACL? I don't see it.
Had a case a couple of years ago where a doctor operated on the wrong ovary, took the wrong ovary out. He started digging around in there and looked at the ovary that he thought he was going to cut out and realized, wow, there's no cyst on here, but he cut it out anyway, thinking that it was the one that was supposed to go. Turns out he took out the wrong ovary. It happens. It continues to happen, and I'm seeing more and more of these cases. And honest to God, Nick, other than the fact that we just are products now of assembly line medicine, I can't explain it, but it is inexcusable.
That is just scary, because as a patient, you're going under general. Yeah, I'm going to just remember, as a patient, should you just make darn sure, hey doc, you're real clear on which knee you're going to operate on today? I mean, what else can you do as a patient?
And I hate to say it, but it's the truth. The one thing that holds these doctors and hospitals accountable for these things and tries to prevent these things from happening in the future is lawsuits.
Yeah, I know.
When they have to whip out a checkbook, and write a check, which is their apology, and give it to the patient. When they have to write these checks, eventually somebody says, hey, we're paying out too much money in claims. What can we do to stop this?
Right.
That's what lawsuits do.
Great point. Listen, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got Joe, we've got Chris, we've got Lawanda, and more. We'll take more calls for our guest, malpractice attorney. If you want to jump in here, we're going till 9 o'clock with Clint Kelly right after this. Wow.
This system